Okay, stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for showing. This is our regular board meeting, number 23. It is Thursday, June the 12th at 10:05 a.m. And we will begin with public comments, and we'll ask you to come to the podium and your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes. Terry.
Karen's Circle, 127 East Grant Street, Lowellville, Ohio. Lowell is having their problems with their finances, but as a village, we are trying band together and trying to fix it, like from last night. And don't forget, school is out. Watch while you're driving. Go slow because there's kids on the bikes are selling. And if you see kids selling something, stop and buy something from them, because you really don't know why they want to make that money. Maybe going to a festival or buying some video games. Just stop. And that's the best way of making future voters, among the office holders. If you see someone, like a kid, just stop. You don't know how many votes you have, because there's parents in that household watching those kids. They see someone that's running for office or office holder, you have a vote for the rest of your life because of what you did. And be involved what's going on in this country. If there's a rally, attend it. If you don't like what's going on, call your representatives on your local, federal, and state level and voice your opinion. And I don't know if you heard this rumor, but I was at the post office rally in May. DeWine is supposed to resign during this year. Tressel will move up the ranks. And guess where DeWine's gonna go? A very good political appointment. Rumor has it he'll be the ambassador to Vatican City. That's the rumor. I heard it in May, and just keep that on your back burner, because Tressel needs gubernatorial experience, and that's how it's going to come. And DeWine helped Trump get Ohio, so this is a good political payoff, because there's a vacancy with the new pope. And thank God we have a pope in the United States.
Yes,
Uh,
I agree. with
Thank you,
that.
Terry. Good information. Next. Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Sorry. Okay.
Morning.
Next,
My
you're
name
next.
is Ovella Blackman, born and raised on the south side of Youngstown. And I just have a question. I'm not gonna be here long. How come the only time we seem to be relevant or considered is during election time? Just let me elaborate on that a little bit. Over the years, I have noticed that during election time, and at election time only, some of you would dress up in a nice suit. Sometimes you'll have your families with you. You step up in the black church. You take a seat. The pastor call for the visitors to stand up. You'll stand up. You'll look back and forth. You'll wave from left to right at everybody. And we know that the only reason you're there is to get our vote. We know that because the timing is so obvious. We also know that the black vote carries a lot of weight, because if it didn't, you wouldn't be up in there trying to get it, nor would you try to suppress it. Okay? And then after you get our vote, we don't see you no more until maybe the next election time. All we're asking is that you just be fair. Just be fair. Be transparent. Those who have nothing to hide nothing. We just want you to be fair. I don't think that's too much to ask. We're not asking for anything outside of your job description. We're just asking that you only be fair. And to even think about moving the Board of Elections out of the county seat, knowing that this is the county seat, knowing that there are other available properties to consider. I think it's just unfair. I think it's unfair. This has always been the county seat. And to just take it away and put it somewhere else, it's unfair. And it's not right. And if it's not right, it can't be fair. When we vote for you, and we go up in those booths in secrecy, and we pick up that pen, and we vote, we're not just in there thinking or guessing. We're hoping and praying that we're gonna make the right choice, and that whatever choice we make, it's gonna work for everybody. Not just us, for everybody. I'm just asking you to be fair. Consider us instead of just election time when you need our vote. We know the weight that our vote carry. We know that, and you do too. We just asking you to just be fair, just do the right thing. If you do the right thing, then you won't have to be coming up in the church pretending that you got our best interests at heart. The work you do will speak for you. Give us a reason to want to vote for you. Just give us a reason to want to vote for you. I'm not done yet. That's not.
15 more seconds.
But give me 15.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Give me a couple
Yeah.
more minutes.
15 more seconds. We got to move on.
Okay, just give us a reason to want to vote for you. Your work will speak for you.
Only get 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Blackman. Thank you. Next. Name and address for the record.
12, so I got 3 minutes.
That's right.
You can,
Cecil Monroe, 76 Maranatha Court, Youngstown, Ohio, 44505. I'm here because I was reading and I heard the controversy over the Board of Elections wanting to move. So I said, well, let me go and offer my concern. And I too have questions, but they're rhetorical because I can't believe that you have this information today. On the list, the short list of locations that put the Patriot Place, is that where the Board of Elections want to go? I'd like to know how many other names or sites were on that list? Or was it just the Patriot location? Were there 2 other names, 3, or was it just the one? And then my other question is, Mr. or Commissioner Trafficante, I think I read in some comments where you said you shepherded the move from Garland Avenue to its present location.
correct.
So what I'd like to know is, that was 16 years ago. Are there 16 annual maintenance reports that indicate when the building, the current location, fell into disrepair? Or in the words of the chairman, who is not present today, when that location became disgusting? Or did it just become disgusting a week, 2 weeks ago? That's what I'd like to know. And I'd like to see if you will bring those at your next meeting, bring those 16 years worth of annual maintenance reports so that we can take a look at that. Because, the good Reverend made a good comment. No, these are the move to disenfranchise people. And I said to myself, well, these are very smart people. They know this already. But my view, I don't think those folks care. They know, they don't give a crap. They care. They don't care. They want to move. And the Board of Elections would just join a long list of other folks corporations who have just left City of Youngstown, packed their bags, closed the doors, and left town. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. If you really want to stay, if they really want to stay, or was it their intention to leave all along? That list that you'll show me, the short list of the potential sites, will help with that. And also those 16 years worth of maintenance reports will help. Let me know that you just let the building fall and just into disrepair so that you can just leave, or were there valiant efforts made to keep the place in good shape? That's all I want to know. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cecil. Thank you. Next. Anyone else?
Say something.
You're at the Y too long. You see that, Jim? You're supposed to be looser up.
I was at the State House too long yesterday.
Okay.
Some of us were down with the budget hearings for the Senate.
Worthy told me. You know.
But anyhow, Reverend Shannon Simon, pastor of the Bethel Baptist Church, chairman of the Community Mobilization Coalition. Real quick, this is just a follow-up from the presentation made by the chairman of the Board of Elections on last Thursday's meeting. So on behalf of the, again, 25 minority organizations that make up the Greater Youngstown Community Mobilization Coalition, I'd like to again just address this issue of the proposed move to the Board of Elections. Follow-up is on the presentation I made last week and the week before on the information we provided you at your request to submit recommendations for sites within the city that would accommodate the needs of the Board of Election and any other agencies that you're proposing to move. So again, my first question is, have the commissioners considered and looked into or investigated any of the recommendations we submitted to you? I need to hear that question answered. My second question has to do with your response to the request we made for public hearings on this issue. We've asked that, and we just want to know, have the commissioners considered for pushing for any public hearings on this critical issue? Because moving the Board of Election outside the city is definitely going to further disenfranchise voters in the city of Youngstown who already have challenges with transportation to participate in the election process. What this really boils down to, when we were up at the State House in Columbus, and we heard back and forth about the budget, what it boils down to is priorities. Priorities. Because it is clear that the priority of the Board of Election chairman and the Board of Election is not the residents of the city of Youngstown. It's not the most vulnerable. It's not the people who already have challenges accessing services the county provides. It's the politics and the deals we make that have priority. By his presentation alone last week, giving all these numbers of what percentage votes and all that, it's clear that the residents of the city of Youngstown are once again being marginalized. We also again want to know how close you are to making this decision. As I mentioned last week, we heard about some architectural drawings already being drawn and at the Patriot Building, and some of the county agencies, the Board of Elections name already in those drawings, identifying their proposed space. We just keep hearing these things. We keep hearing that a decision hasn't been made, but we're still formally requesting that our county leaders hear and consider the concerns that we've been raising to you today and weeks and months before, answering our questions, reconsider this move, schedule public hearings on this matter, and again, respond to the Community Mobilization Coalition before final decision is made. That is my presentation today. I appreciate your response.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. Next.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Monica Hoskins Van. I reside at 7423 Eagle Trace in Boardman. I am here representing the Community Mobilization Coalition, and I am also the immediate past president and a member of the Youngstown chapter of Links Incorporated. Both organizations are focused on addressing the needs of underserved residents in our local communities. I stand before you today not only as a concerned citizen of Mahoning County, but as someone who deeply values the future and strength of the city of Youngstown. I want to respectfully express my concerns regarding the potential relocation of the Board of Elections outside of the city limits. This move would not only create access barriers for many residents, particularly our seniors and those without reliable transportation, but it also risks shifting critical resources and engagement away from the heart of our community. While I personally do not live within the city of Youngstown, I fully understand and support the importance of keeping tax dollars within the city where they are collected. Economic development, job opportunities, and the preservation of civic infrastructure are vital to the well-being of any city, and that includes Youngstown. When we begin to shift services outside of the city, we slowly erode the economic base and civic presence. Residents rightfully expect that their tax dollars be reinvested in their own neighborhoods, where the impact is most significant and direct. This is especially important given the tax contributions from townships outside the city of Youngstown who do not support the city's development. I respectfully urge you to keep the Board of Elections within the city of Youngstown to ensure that the residents are not disenfranchised in the voting process. This decision goes beyond geography. It reflects a commitment to equity, access, and truly serving the citizens of this community. I have lived in Mahoning County for almost 26 years. I have never come down and spoke before the county commissioners, but I'm here today because I believe that this is such an important issue to where all of the residents in the surrounding counties, the surrounding townships come and voice their concerns. Thank you for your time and for your continued service in our community.
Thank you very much. Wow.
I get 20 minutes, right?
Name and-
All right, Robert
and address for the
Santos,
record.
3055 South Raccoon Road in Oscoda, Ohio. I wasn't going to speak today, but there was something that was left out of the news recently, and I want to give props where props is due. If you guys have been following the news, myself, I'm actually the president of the Mahoning County Township Association, and we collaborated with other city leaders, other state leaders to ensure that the dispensary funds that were promised to the communities stay within the communities. Right now, the state's looking to take that money away and use it for their own purpose. So there was something I said during the press conference we had with the various local leaders that was left out of the news. It wasn't Jerry. Jerry definitely would have made sure it was in there. But during my talk, I mentioned how the townships obviously try to advocate as much as they can so don't the cities and so don't the county. So it's hard for us as local leaders to continuously go down to either DC or Columbus to fight for each and every single one of you. So back in the day, they created basically organizations. The townships have Township Association. The county has the County Commissioners Association. So when this bill was first presented where no one was going to get anything and the state was going to keep everything, their goal was to give this money to the sheriff's office for their jails, which is a great cause and something that I definitely fully support. However, the money was promised to the communities. Their County Commissioners Association was all about it because they wanted to make sure they had the funds. But I wanted to give the three commissioners up here 100% kudos, because what they did was they went against their association and they wrote a letter in support saying that this money needs to stay in the local communities because the people who have dispensaries or currently trying to get some are not just Austintown, but it's the city of Struthers and most importantly, the city of Youngstown. So right now, they have not received a dime of this money that they were promised, which could be anywhere from $200,000 to about 1 million, depending on how big or how well that dispensary does. So because it was left out of news, I just want to come here and give you guys props. I do appreciate y'all doing that. I know it's hard to go against your association because it does cause a little bit of conflict, but it shows where your determination, your commitment is, which is the community and the residents. I come up here and say thank you. for that.
Thank you.
You know, Bob, before you step down, I want to thank you personally for your leadership on this issue because you brought this up months ago. You saw this coming and what you said was true. And you've been on the forefront of fighting for local communities to keep those resources here. The state wants to give us mandates, but yet they don't want to give us money to fund it. Your township's holding the dispensaries and all of a sudden they come around and say, oh, no, you're not getting the money. How do you do that? So I want to thank you for your leadership on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Especially, I mean, every dollar is tight, every tax dollar. You didn't have to go to your residence. This was money. You approved the dispensary because you agreed to have it there as per the way the law was written on the ballot.
Yeah.
And the state was gonna circumvent all that, and say, no, the hell with it, we're keeping it. That's wrong. That's not helping people. That's wrong. I'll disagree with everybody in the state that says that's a good idea. And thank you for everything you do, Bob. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it too.
Thank you.
Because you know what? It's good to have other people, other than some of us that have been fighting the state forever to get our funds back, to have other people see what we saw years ago. And I appreciate that. I think sometimes when you see it happening in your own backyard, it's a whole nother ballgame. So
It is.
I just hope we could all stick together because they're gonna start to do so many things, and God willing, that doesn't happen. And our people need to stay together or we won't have money coming in from the state at all for any social services.
It is. I appreciate it. We have made some strides. It went from
Well, I
nothing
think you're gonna
to,
be all right
I want
with
to say like
that.
26% for 7 years. But still, we can't budget off of 7 years. We think about that money we can use forever and not either the cities they don't have to increase income tax. Their townships don't have to ask for new levies because we are primarily funded through property tax. It's not a matter of when, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when we do it. And this could have helped out offset it. So I just want to thank all three of you for that. So I appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Anyone else?
We gotta get me a meeting.
No? Okay, well, thank you very, very much. Okay, with that, I'll ask for a motion.
Motion for the approval of previous minutes of board meeting number 22, Thursday, June 5th, 2025, and approval of bills for payment.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner DeFabio,
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati,
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante,
Yes, journal entry.
Motion for the approval of journal entry number 1.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner DeFabio,
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati,
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes, agreements A through H, and A and D is facilities, and that is Alan.
Morning, Commissioners. A is an agreement with Johnson Controls Fire Protection for alarm monitoring services at the Courthouse and Administration Building in the amount of $1,535.02, general funds. And B is an agreement with Dubik Fixtures and Supply for the purchase of a dishwasher at the Justice Center in the amount of $16,265.65, also general.
Thank you, Alan. And hazmat.
Good morning, Commissioners. I do apologize for not being in the meeting today. With agreements for on-demand for the hazmat team physicals, $5,000 non-general fund.
Thank you, Adam. Recycling, Lou Vega.
Morning, Commissioners. This item D is agreement with these three respective communities to host our drop-off recycling site and provide ancillary services at those locations.
Okay, thank you, Lou. And sanitary, Jill.
Good morning, Commissioners. E is an agreement with SET for emergency sewer repairs on Southern Boulevard in the estimated amount of $7,500 non-general. F is an agreement with JS Bova Excavating for emergency sewer repairs at Coretti Drive in the estimated amount of $10,000 non-general. G is the agreement with Duke Sanitary Service for cleaning, removal, and disposal of debris at Craig Beach Wastewater Treatment Plant in the estimated amount of $46,350 of non-general. And H is an agreement with Western Reserve Mechanical for the replacements of 3 oxygen butterfly valves at the Meander Wastewater Plant, the estimated amount of $12,415 of non-general.
Thank you, Jill. Motion?
Motion for the approval of number 2, agreements A through H.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner DeFabio,
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant.
Yes, appointments, 3A. Commissioners are going to be appointing these following individuals to serve on the Mahoning County Mental Health and Recovery Board for a 4-year term, beginning July 1st, 2025. We have Sylvia Little Scott, it's a reappointment. Chelsea Zolden Calhoun, reappointment. Rachel Cheminsky, Linda Warino, Kyle Gutterby, and Richard Warren. And at this time, we have Dwayne Picciarelli, if Dwayne would speak on what these members do and what happened.
Yeah, Commissioners, I just want to thank you for the appointment. We have 18 board members. And we have a choice of 18 or less, and we choose 18 because it's usually a waiting list, and 12 appointed by you. And these are all great people. There's 2 new appointments and then the other reappointments, and they work hard and they show up for meetings, and we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
And
Dwayne.
we want to recognize Brenda too. Hi, Brenda.
Yes. That's here.
Thank you. Carol?
Motion for the approval of number 3, appointments A.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner DeFabio,
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant.
Yes. Resolutions?
Motion for the approval of resolutions number 1, additions.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner DeFabio,
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant.
Yes. 2A, record of bids, sanitary. Jill?
This is for the Damascus wastewater treatment rehabilitation improvement number 528 at Goshen Township.
Okay, thank you. Carol?
Motion for the approval of number 2, record of bids A.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner DeFabio,
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant.
Yes, resolutions, letters A through F. And we have our person here, Ryan, who's going to speak on OMB. Ryan, good to have you here.
Good morning, thank you. Resolution A is just a resolution authorizing a transfer from the general fund to the Juvenile Justice Court Capital Project Fund in the amount of $353,351.58.
Thank you. I want everybody to know what a great addition Ryan was to our staff, and he's got the numbers in his head. He's really good. He's young, and we really appreciate what you've done for us. Thank you. Okay. Facilities, we have an agreement with Crime Stoppers. Alan, I don't know if the person is here or not.
Yeah.
Would you like to introduce or?
You want us to read it in first?
Sure, yeah.
So B is a resolution authorizing the lease agreement with Greater Crime Stoppers Incorporated for space at the Oak Hill Renaissance Building for 2 years. And we have John here from Crime Stoppers. Would you like to say?
Well, I just want to thank you. I want to thank the commissioners, Commissioner DeFabio, the Mahoning County Sheriff's Department that assisted us in getting this fixed location. Crime Stoppers, as president, I put together the Enhancement Growth 2025 initiative. And this is the first time Crime Stoppers will have a fixed location. As we move forward, I hope that location is going to be used to have the public attend Crime Stoppers. We plan on putting some seminars together. And I think I bring some gratitude to the group saying that we're moving into Oak Hill. And I appreciate that location. I think it's going to benefit the organization. We recently expanded. We now cover Ashtabula, Trumbull, Mahoning, and Columbiana County. So as the organization grows with fixed location, it's going to assist the executive board in administering that program. So thank you for the commissioners for providing that space for us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
Very much.
That's been an organization that's been around quite some time.
Well, it has been, and it kind of dormant.
Yeah.
You know, people still think we're like McGruff,
Right.
but we're not. So I think you're going to see an increase in recognition as we move forward.
Remember Smokey the Bear on Forest Fires?
Yeah.
I think it was at the same time.
They're all part of us.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Joe Campbell.
All right. Exactly. Okay, Human Resources. Dina.
Good morning, Commissioners. C is a resolution approving the appointment of 1 human resource generalist for the department.
Thank you, Dina.
Thank you.
And we have Lindsay here for the prosecutor's office. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, good morning. D is a resolution approving the moral obligation payment of $6,250 to Maximus US Services and to enter into agreement for the remainder of 2025 and 2026 for the amount of $8,250.
Thank you. And sanitary to finish up, Jill.
Yes, this is a resolution approving the economic adjustments for non-union employees based off the collective bargaining agreement. And then we have a resolution for approving Rudzik Excavating for emergency services, provided all necessary repairs to the sanitary sewer structures pursuant of our ORC 307.86A12.
Okay, thank you. Motion?
Motion for the approval of number 3, resolutions A through F.
Second. Roll call. Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Chafficanty?
Yes, for the good of the order, any elected officials or department heads like to comment?
Yes, Commissioner Audrey Morales, hello? Commissioner,
Okay, Audrey, a little louder.
can you hear me?
There you are.
Can you hear
Yes,
me?
ma'am.
Okay, for the good of the order, some good news for the summer program for children who are between the ages of 6 and 18 will receive an additional $120 on their already EBT card to supplement and help them through the summer. So our federal government is looking to do this for anyone receiving public assistance. And this is because kids that were enrolled in school on the lunch program or were able to get free breakfast and they're out of school now, they're going to make sure that the parents have that additional supplement, $120 per child. These benefits will be loaded. They will expire in 122 days. So that's a good note that the federal government is doing in addition to some of the things that we consider negative. Parents will be able to assist their children with these benefits. So
And how long will that last for? Audrey, how long is the program?
the program is just for the summer and it will be $120 per child and the benefits will be loaded on their card. So they don't have to apply for anything. The federal government checks the system. If they're getting food stamps, they will get that $120 per child during the summer. It'll be
Is that a one-time?
One time.
Is that a one-time payment or is that through the summer or 180 days?
One time.
Program, it'll start on, talking about the children, on or after July 1st, the program will start and they'll dump that on their card. So if they don't get it, you can call us, but it's already, anyone that's in the system will get the $120 per child on their card.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you. That is good news.
And then the state's given us.
Thank you, Audrey.
Nick, anyone else? Department heads, electeds? Carol, Gino?
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming in again. And Crime Stoppers was around for a very long time, and I could remember that. We lived on the north side, and that was 37 years ago. And moved to the west side and was a councilwoman. And Crime Stoppers was a big deal then. And they were housed downtown, I think somewhere. And they would go to all the block watches and kind of keep everybody. And Reverend Simon, you remember that.
I was on the board.
You were on the board for that. That was many years ago. So we did have that activated at one time. And it really never went away. It was brought back in, which is a good thing. And you're in a good space there because that's where our task force used to be many years ago. Also, I applaud the trustees and Bob with your leadership as the chair of that board for actively stepping up to see what we lose in money from the state through not only through the county, but through the townships, the cities and the villages. We need to have more people on board doing that fight, not just the commissioners or not just our association, but everybody needs to fight because it's crazy what's happening with our money, whether it's in social services or it's in government or it's in our immediate government agencies. I'm hoping that we don't see drastic changes in that because people need to understand when they vote against like the property tax issue. I understand that that issue is very touchy. I mean, I would like not to pay. You know, I'm over 70, I would like not to pay, but that's not the way it works because there are agencies within that get money from that money and it runs government services. Government services. So when you see people out, I don't think they really understand what they're doing because what they're doing is cutting what we get from the state or from anything else that we generate through the property taxes. And it's not only just government. It's not just us. It's all these other social service agencies that get that money. And do I think the state ought to reevaluate how they do property tax? I think the hard thing for them would be to sit at a table, understand what property tax really does, and look at what programs they could put in place, like for the seniors to bring back the old style homestead exemption that was there many years ago that helped all the people. Instead of put restrictions on it and salaries and whatever, because no matter what you make when you retire, everything's higher today than it was 25, 30 years ago. Groceries, clothing, insurances, everything, food. So when you say I make 40, 50,000 a year, they think, oh, you don't need it. No, you need it as just as much as somebody only making 25,000 a year. So I hope everybody looks at that, understands that bill before they go to the polls and vote for it. Please understand that. Because that's going to affect all of us in this room. And I must say, I have to plug a couple feasts that are going to go on this weekend, and Megan would know more about that. Simply Slavic is going on downtown at the Amphitheater, which is always a great festival. It's a 2-day event, Friday and Saturday, Megan. And I gotta give a shout out for St. Anthony in Briar Hill, my church. We have a 1-day feast with the mass and a procession, and then we have food after in the lower hall, like a homemade cavatelli, meatball, sausage, pizza frita, pizza. I have to homemade wine. I shouldn't say that here. But it'll be a nice event. There's 2 great things, and I'm sure if you look in the paper, there's many more.
Yeah, tons of events. You can go to our website. We have a ton of events on our calendar on exploremahoning.com. Too many to even mention. Like, hard to pick what's your favorite.
Well, that's good though.
Great problem to have.
It is. I mean, no one could say they don't have anything to do. I mean, downtown's always buzzing. Thank you and have a good weekend. Stay safe.
Thank you. Gino, first of all, light note, Megan, if you could put together like a bus tour of shops to go shopping, I'm telling you.
We'll have the wineries in too, right?
She'll
That
buy the
would be
bus.
me. I'll get the bus.
Little boutiques and stuff. There's your advertising. Anyways, Crime Stoppers, thank you for what you guys do is great. Rob, of course, I've told you 100 times. You work tirelessly for people, not only in Austin town, but people in Mahoning County. And you do a great job and we appreciate that. Reverend, there's no decision. And believe me, it's not gonna be because anybody's trying to get you franchised or whatever. You say that there's blueprints and stuff out. Those are all napkin drawings. Those are what ifs in this, you know what I'm saying? Those are drafts. Those aren't even public. That's just saying what you could do with space. That's what that is. I could tell you there's no decisions have been made. And this is why when I stood there 5 weeks before I took office, I said, please wait, please. let me see what, what I come in at, whatever, all the ramifications, because I didn't know. And there are many. And I was afraid of that. But now I'm here. We're gonna make a decision, but nothing is in stone. Nothing has been decided upon. I promise you that. And we're gonna do the best thing for everyone. But it'll have nothing to do with taking away anybody's right to vote, because I know how, like I said before, I know how important every vote is. I do. And that nobody would want to do that. But I appreciate your passion and everyone's passion in the room for this decision.
It's important.
It is. And I thank you.
What the priorities are.
Can I say
Making a
something?
decision.
But it was never, Board of Elections was never part of anything. And like Gina said, Audrey, myself, everything was napkin. So how that escalated to a point of, I don't know, but
It's unofficial.
so Audrey,
No, I'm saying, no, Anthony.
Yeah. No, I just, again, Crime Stoppers, Bob, thank you for your leadership. I just like to say, and, we're talking about how things cost. And what mystifies me, the fact is that after COVID, how's come everything went up double during COVID, except wages went down, benefits went down. Why is that? If you take your household list of what you pay, expenses, your food, your house, your repairs, cars, and your insurance, you go over here in this column and you put how much you pay in taxes. Then you go over here and you look at expenses. A person trying to raise a child, and I'm saying one child, on a $40,000 a year salary. I'm not even including cars. What's left at the end of the day? We're not getting younger, we're getting older. What is a person going to do? They can't go out and start a new career. You can't lose your Medicare. You can't lose your Medicaid. You can't lose your food stamps. You can't lose your Social Security. You're at the doctor's office twice a week. How would you pay those expenses? I'm just saying, it's sickening what's going on in this country. And yes, I want to say this, and Cecil, I think, mentioned it. I was the shepherd of Oak Hill Renaissance Center, and I'm proud of being that shepherd. Sometimes a person has to be a shepherd. And I was sued on moving that agency out of McGuffey because of the deplorable conditions into the city of Youngstown, where it belonged, and a ton of other agencies. And I went through courts, depositions for 4 years fighting to keep those agencies in the city of Youngstown. And I was told to take those agencies and move them in the old Sam's Club building. That would have been my way out. That was my card, so to speak, to get out of all this lawsuits that I was in, just move them out to Boardman. Well, I put my foot down and said no. And we kept those agencies in the city. And I've said this 100 times, I'm going to say it again, I am committed to keeping the Board of Elections and any other county agencies in the county seat in the city of Youngstown. That's what I believe. That's what I've said, and I'm going to stick to that. So hopefully, as my colleague said, there's been no decisions made on doing this. Not everything's perfect, but I will say this, that Oak Hill site has 11 acres. It's tough to find that kind of land in the city of Youngstown for parking. It's been a good site. The building does need a lot of work. And I could ask Alan to address that when the time comes, but we put millions of dollars in that facility to keep it in the city of Youngstown. And as long as I'm here, that's where my heart will be. So thank you very much.
thank you.
Okay, our next meeting?
It's going to be on Wednesday, June 18th, right here.
Okay. That being said, motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Roll call.
Commissioner DeFazio,
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati,
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry, I've been same time.
I hear your dad like 70.